When I first heard of the COVID-19 virus back in February, like many of you, I didn't take it very seriously. Growing up, there was a lot of viruses that were happening different years, and none of them really affected me, so I didn't take this one that seriously. And even when this virus began to spread more and more, I thought it was just a natural calamity, that God allows natural calamities to happen, and we could learn something through it. But I didn't necessarily see a specific divine intention with the COVID-19 virus. However, as things have developed, I've begun to realize how profound the effect of this virus actually is. Think about this. The Vatican has canceled public liturgies for Holy Week and Easter. This is the first time that has happened since Constantine legalized Christianity in the 300s. Also, throughout the world, for multiple months, people will go without the sacraments. This has never happened in such a grand and dramatic way. Even when the church has been persecuted at times, people have still gone to Mass in hiding. But now, because of this virus, we are scared to gather. And so I can't think of any other natural disaster that could have caused the effects that we're experiencing, which is a separation of God's people from the sacraments, all of the sacraments. So why? Why is this happening? Well, I was reading the prophets yesterday, the prophet Hosea, the prophet Jeremiah, and it talks about how God hides his face at times. God pulls back when people turn away from God, when they turn to idols. And I began to think that maybe the reason this is happening, maybe there's this separation between God's people and the sacraments is because we have taken advantage of the sacraments, that we have abused the sacraments for years. And I'm talking about lay people and about priests. Let's just look at the sacrament of the Eucharist. The way that the Eucharist is treated in parishes, the way we talk about the Eucharist, how casually we receive the Eucharist, how many people receive the Eucharist without ever going to confession. There's been such an abuse and a disrespect for the Eucharist that I wonder if God's pulling back as a way to entice and allure us to have a deeper love. We all know in dating relationships at times, when one person's feeling used or taken for granted, they'll pull away. And the hope is that absence will make the heart grow fonder, that it will actually draw the couple back together. And so I'd suggest that maybe God's pulling away in order to draw us back to himself. It's not because he's petty or revengeful, but he wants to entice us, to allure us to have a deeper love and devotion for him and for the graces that he gives us through the sacraments. And so what should we do in response to this? Well, we shouldn't grovel in self-pity and guilt. God says, I don't wish the sinner to die, but to turn back to me and live. And so this is a time, as I've mentioned before, to intensify our love, our devotion, and our thanksgiving for God during this period. And I would challenge you, if you're able to go out right now to, let's say, go to the grocery store, maybe go to a doctor's appointment, I'd encourage you to stop by a church that's open to visit Jesus in the Blessed Sacrament. If you're able to go out, if you're willing to go out to get food, I'd encourage you to come to spend time with Jesus, to thank him, to be with him. Because it's in doing this that our devotion will increase, our love will increase. And so one of my greatest hopes, as I've also mentioned many times, is that through this period of absence, in a sense, from God and his sacraments, that all of us might grow to have a deeper devotion and love for all that God has given us. And hopefully we will see this moment as a profound act of mercy of God that draws us back into a deeper communion with himself. May God bless and protect you and your families during this time.